with your career so far, what has been your favorite campaign that you've started?
Um, Man,
You could say more
let
than
me
one.
think. I there's a lot of things that I've done, so I'm like I'm trying to remember. Gosh, there's like a lot of things that come to mind. There's one job that I did that was, I don't know if it was necessarily a campaign. It was like a commercial. It was a campaign for the tourism of Bahamas.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and Lenny Kravitz was in it, and we got to go to the
Dope.
Bahamas for we were there for like a week, and
What?
we just got to do everything that you would do if you went there on vacation. And
Like as a
it
tourist.
was, yeah, it was insane. I was like, when I was doing the job, like all I was thinking was like, I would pay you guys to be doing this right now. Like this is insane. And we had like these tour guides and these people showing us everything we were doing. It was like, it was wild. And that was one of the coolest jobs that I've probably ever done, I think. But when I was in Milan, I did a lot of different campaigns and stuff. Like I did a thing for like Vespa too. That was really cool.
Did you ride one?
Yeah, well, I fake rode one. Like I was on it, and there was a girl on the back, and we're supposed to look like we're cruising down the road, but we weren't moving at all.
So what would you say has been the most difficult job that you've done where you're like, damn, this one's gonna take like whereas Bahamas one kind of felt more effortless because you were just like living it up in Bahamas. But like what was one that was like probably the most difficult that you can think of?
I mean, so I do a lot of underwear stuff, like
Yeah.
a lot of underwear work. And sometimes I shoot for companies that there's they're underwear that I would never wear personally. Like they're really out there stuff. But I mean, that's my job in a sense. And so like, I don't ever judge the stuff I'm doing, but I guess those things are kind of hard because then I see the photos and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, those are probably the hardest ones, especially because I'm like I'm like stark naked in front of
Yeah.
a handful of people. And I'm trying to make these pair of underwear that I'm not fully comfortable with, like trying to be like, oh no, I'm just totally comfortable in these
Yeah, like I
underwear.
would wear these around the house. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that could be challenging, but so far no one has ever seen, or I fooled pretty much everybody, like thinking that I feel comfortable in them. So I think I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Have you ever had like a really weird request? Like have you ever said no? Like has there ever been a situation where like I can't do this?
Yeah, whenever, I mean, yeah, I mean, like just the other day, there was a magazine company, like I won't say who it is, but they do like pretty much fully nude stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I said no to that
You're
because
like,
it's not that I'm like against it. Like I'm, my main focus right now is like I'm trying to pursue acting, and that's
yeah.
like the modeling stuff is really just that's like my side gig, it feels like, but it does consume so much of my time. That's where I make most of my money. um so like I'm not against the nudity stuff. I think people should feel comfortable in their own skin, and I'm like a huge advocate for that. But for me, it's just like if if it's not like tasteful and there's not really a like an artistic point of view to it, like I pretty much will turn down stuff. It's just like me standing there naked for people to see.
You're
It's,
just like, yeah.
yeah, because I mean, like, yeah, in my like earlier career before I really knew anything, there was some things that I did that I wasn't fully comfortable with, but I didn't really know that. I thought like I was just lucky to be doing what I was doing, and so I
Yeah.
shouldn't ever. Yeah, so now like where I'm at now, I'm more like, if I don't want to do something, I will say no. But pretty much my agents have been pretty good about what they put forward to me, so I haven't had to be like dropping the no words every time someone says something. So it's
Well,
been
that's good.
good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes off that. Do you ever get like nervous or self-conscious, like stripping down, or is it just like another day at work at this point?
Um, no, I mean, for acting stuff, I'm getting nervous. So like that's a good feeling, because when I first started modeling, I would get nervous.
Yeah.
There would be 20 people standing there, and now I had to like give them like interesting poses, and I felt like the beginning of my modeling career, I felt like I was like, do I deserve to be here? How did I get to this point? And so yeah, that like at first I was nervous. Now it's whenever I have a shoot, I feel very comfortable on set and confident. I feel like I'm kind of just. I wish there was more like behind the scene cameras, because I feel like I'm doing like a stand up comedy. Like you see the photos and I'm like, yeah, like you see the photos and I look serious and I'm trying to be sexy, but then when they're not taking photos, I'm just trying to make everybody there laugh. And so yeah, I don't really get too nervous anymore, like doing photo shoots, but still for acting things, I'll get nervous for that type of stuff still.
Okay, so how does your girlfriend feel about some of your more racier shoots? Is she just like, yeah, babe, like work it? Or is she kind of like, ah? Does she ever get like,
she's my biggest fan, I think.
oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, no, she's seriously like my biggest supporter. We actually, so one of the last shoots I did in Vegas, she came with, because she's a fashion designer and she just graduated from FITM. And they wanted to see if she would be willing to style this shoot. Like, so she came along to be like the stylist for it. And then the second day we were there, like one thing led to another, and I was like trying to I was like, let's shoot us together. And then we ended up doing a full editorial that came out in Period magazine.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
And we got the cover of it, and then some of those photos from that shoot also got sold, and the both of us were on, I think right now there's 2 or 3 covers that already came out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then but there was quite a few photos that got sold to authors for book covers. So yeah, she's seriously awesome. Like I lucked out like really hard, because this has been a struggle in my past relationships and stuff, like, which I totally understand too, because I'm like shooting with girls and stuff, and I'm trying to like portray as like we're romantic with each other. And so like I could never, like I feel like I would get jealous if my girlfriend was doing that all the time. So I'm very lucky.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you also talked a little bit about your shooting a film in San Diego. So what has been your experience filming a movie with the COVID safety protocols? I'm very curious about that. Do you even not even notice, or is it just like a lot?
Oh no, it's been crazy. It's been a nightmare. So I mean, like, it's been really hard. It's made things so much harder.
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
Yeah. So I mean, since I got cast in this film back in, I think like right before the beginning of March, I believe actually. And then this all hit, and so they postponed everything until further notice, and it just kept getting put off and put off. And then once we started filming, it's like you're on set, everybody's wearing a mask, and then I'm like rehearsing with my partner and stuff, and then we're also, before that, we have to get like tested and stuff, like before we're going on set and stuff. So then there's that. But yeah, you're rehearsing with your scene partner and you have your mask on and you can't even see his face. And then as soon as you start filming, you take your mask off and you're like, oh, this is the first time I'm seeing you today, pretty much. So like, let's do this. And so,
wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot harder than it has to be. But again, I mean, like, you have to take these protocols to make sure that no one's gonna get sick. Or so I mean, like, yeah, I'm thankful that they are this strict with everything, because I don't want to be responsible for causing more of a spread than we have to be doing, you know.
It goes without saying, you have a very nice physique. Do you have a very strict workout regimen or a diet regimen or anything, or do you kind of just like do your thing?
No, I work out like every day. People like to take their like the rest days, but if I don't go to the gym for like at least an hour, I feel like I can't finish, or I can't do what I need to do in the day, you know. Like, it's that's kind of like my meditation time, is like I go work out, listen to music, or listen to like an audiobook or something and kind of just forget about everything else that's going on. And especially with everything that's happening right now, it was like working out was like, that was my safe space for me. Like that's where I would kind of clear my head from everything. But yeah, like, so I work out every day. I try to eat as clean as I can, but I mean, that's, especially when you're in a relationship with somebody, you're like, well, let's go grab like In-N-Out or something.
Pizza.
So it is,
Yeah.
yeah, anything. So it's kind of hard to eat clean 100% of the time, but for the most part, we are pretty good about that. And then I take a lot of vitamins, especially now with COVID. I think it's so important. People should be taking vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. I think those are three really important ones to be taking. But like, if you saw my medicine or my vitamin drawer that I have, it's crazy how many vitamins I have. But yeah, I'm pretty strict with my workout regimen. So yeah.